When were you up for the Hall? 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah, and just the fact that they haven't even really put his name in conversation is absolutely it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I'm gonna have to wait. I understand the politics behind it, which is why I did my own.
Yeah, that's what you should. I mean, we were saying that on the show a couple weeks ago that on the Getcha Popcorn Ready podcast, we were saying the Hall of Fame should be voted on all players, right? Present and past, you should have a vote for all the Hall of Fame players because that would tell a whole bunch about the ups and downs of the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say this, Chad. That's very admirable to now say, oh, I'm going to have to wait. But then again, to say that, I think you're discrediting what you brought to the game, where your stats are right now. Because I say that, and I'm saying that to segue into the fact of look what Drew Pearson has done. He's waited all these years to hear his name called, and it has not. I don't know what your stats are in comparison to his. I don't know what it is, but I would have to say that your stats are better than Drew Pearson's. And Drew Pearson till today feels like he has been disrespected. They had an IG clip of him waiting for his name to be called, and he's upset about it. Till today, he's upset that they haven't put him into the Hall of Fame. So don't discredit yourself saying that you have to wait when, again, me assessing, where you are, me playing with you, and knowing the guys that have been inducted into the Hall of Fame, bro, your name should at least be on the list.
So yeah, it's one thing that I really never cared about for some reason. And then people always ask, you really care about the Hall of Fame? Well, if I did, I would have conducted myself in the Hall of Fame manner during my career. Did it really look like I cared about it? No, it's not. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, guess what? I'm going to be living a good life outside of that and do what I've been doing the entire time, not needing validation. Listen, if I do make it at some point, who knows when, man, thank goodness, because it says a lot about what I brought to the game and what I did. But it's not.
Chad, I'm going to get you in the Langston University Hall of Fame with me. How about that?
That works.
He said with him.
I like it.
But the word that you use, Chad, is validation. And I think that's what's different about you. That's what's unique about you. And I think when you talk about you compare or you just bring up you, and I know I did this, Drew Pearson and yourself. Drew Pearson.
You can't compare those two, T.
And I know, not really comparison, but just bringing it up into discussion. Drew Pearson is looking for the Hall of Fame to validate who he was. Right. And like I said, he played years before everybody even. I know I watched or I even knew anything about playing football or watching football. He wants the Hall of Fame to validate who he was with the Dallas Cowboys. I had no idea who he was. I still don't know who he is, to be honest. But
you played for the Cowboys. How you not know this?
But even when I played with the Cowboys, I don't think of Drew Pearson. All I knew is
you never Irvin. Saw like the number 88 or the 88 jersey highlights and all that from the old days.
No, it's equivalent to men that we're talking about the Last Dance. It's equivalent to these guys that had never saw Michael Jordan, but they see and they hear his name and can. In conversation and discussion as who's the greatest player of all time. If you didn't watch or you didn't see these guys play, you don't ever know. Yeah, I may have heard him, but it was nothing about his highlights that for me that say, okay, this guy should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't know that. You can show me tape. You can show me tape all day. If that's the case, he can make a case with the guys that are in the Hall of Fame, like Steve Largent. I knew of him, but I didn't know him. I mean, Steve Largent is one of the 100 greatest receivers of all time.
Hey,
but in comparison,
he's on the. I know us three are not on the top 100 list, so we're all in the same category.
No, we're not in the same category.
We're all in the same. We're all the same, brother.
No, we're not. No, hey, Chad, don't let him disrespect you. Don't let him drag you into this conversation.
He ain't in the top 100, so he with me and you, dog.
Hey, Chad, dog, why you laughing so hard with that,
dog? I'm just right here. I'm right here playing people, man, enjoying this pod, man.
No, that is nothing to be laughed at. I don't like the fact that he's want to put us on the same playing field. In that regard, no, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not.
Hey, we are Black individuals that's
the only thing we have in common.
We made it.
We made it.
That's all that matters. We
did. Yeah, but man, I still got to say to Chad, don't discredit yourself, bro. Bro, you was a hell of a receiver, and the fact that again, you can make an argument about different guys that probably should have been in the Hall of Fame, that shouldn't be in it, that is in it.
Right.
There's a lot of question marks, but when you think about and you look at your career, bro, like I said, even if you don't make it, at least put your name in the hat to be even considered. You know what I mean? So again, don't say you gotta wait. And I understand that I'm like you. We're equal in the thought process of. For me, I never played the game to make it to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
but
me neither.
But the fact that I was being recognized because they compared my body of work with the guys that are now in the Hall of Fame, yeah, I felt like I rightfully earned a spot to obviously be nominated in the first ballot and should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.